Alright, well, tonight I watched the Mayweather. Man, my mouth is dry. I think I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I watched the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and I say Mayweather Pacquiao because it was clearly a Mayweather fight. Pacquiao did not, the traditional Pacquiao did not show up in the fight. So I have a previous video where I'm kind of railing on the judges about Bradley winning over Pacquiao. You know, that was clearly wrong, but as frustrating as it is to say that old Manny Mayweather won this fight, I think what I had to do is put myself in the mindset of a Mayweather fan. And I'm not sure how you can be a Mayweather fan because there's really no boxing. Nothing really exciting there, all right, other than a bunch of grandstanding before a fight and then basically being a boxer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with boxing because it's a sport, and you should appreciate the fact that somebody is doing it well. All right, and he's got an awesome defense. Really hard to get to him. Really hard to land a punch, and it's very his offense is very just enough. All right, I mean that's basically what the announcers was talking about at the end of the fight, or were talking about at the end of the fight. But it's hard to get excited about that. So when you're clicking on a button on your TV to pay $100 a fight or pay $90 a fight for a boxing match that is basically boring, all right? So if you wanted to go watch the Twins and the Blue Jays play baseball, they're professional baseball players. They're gonna play baseball, right? They're gonna play their positions correctly. The pitcher's going to pitch good, fast pitches. The hitters are going to hit. But it's not the Yankees and the Red Sox, right? And people paid $100 a piece to watch the Yankees and the Red Sox play baseball. And what showed up was I think the Yankees and the Red Sox showed up, but then they took their jerseys off, and it was the Blue Jays and the Twins, all right? And I think Manny thought he was going to trick Mayweather into fighting differently, and everybody thought coming in that Mayweather was going to fight differently because the money was so substantial that he was going to change his style to impress them. Well, good on him, right? I mean, as much as I'm not a Mayweather fan, good on him for being him, being his own fighter. I mean, I'm not a Mayweather fan. I have not watched a lot of his highlights. I've not watched a lot of his fights. But if he's a boxer, if he's a pugilist, and he is a very scientific boxer who understands his opponent, understands what he needs to do to win, understands the very intricacies of boxing and the ring and what you've got to do to win a fight, and that's what he was coming to do. And basically he's won 48 fights now, 48-0, and it's because it's a sport, right? It's a sport. There are rules. There are rules where you score points, and if you score enough points, you're going to win, regardless of how flashy you are, regardless of how aggressive you are, you're going to win, right? And it seems like Mayweather and his father, who've figured out how to win fights without getting a scratch on them. And I say that's not even a fair statement because I have not watched his fights. I've not watched any of his other fights. But I can suspect, based on watching this one fight, that I would say the majority of them, he comes out looking like he didn't fight. He probably comes out looking like he just got out of the gym. And no big deal here. Yeah, I won. Yep. The guy looks spent because I made him look like a fool because my defense is so good. And, yep, I popped him a few times between his defenses because his defenses suck more than my offenses suck. So, by virtue of me not sucking as much as his defense sucked, I win. Whereas Pacquiao is all about offense over offense, right? His opponents over his career have been matched up to create this hype and create this fervor around his boxing matches, where you're rooting for him, but you know that there's a chance that he could lose, which of course, recently he did, very dramatically, of course. He got knocked out, and I thought he died. I mean, I really did. I thought he was dead. I was like, there's no way this guy's going down like that unless he's actually dead. And he laid there long enough that I actually did think he was dead. Thank God that Manny Pacquiao is not dead. But I think Manny came into this fight thinking he was going to trick Mayweather into fighting a different fight because he was going to come straight at him. And of course, Mayweather is not going to fight differently. He is a professional boxer. He's not a fighter. He's a professional boxer. And that's what he did. He stuck to his game plan. He thought about it. He was introspective during the rounds. He changed to make sure that Manny didn't get the best of him. He didn't get frustrated. He didn't get agitated. And that was the fight. Very uninteresting. Almost like, and this is because I'm not as much into boxing as I used to be baseball, I can go to a baseball game, watch a 1-0 game where almost nothing happens, and consider it one of the best games that I've ever been to. All right? And if you understand a sport well enough to understand how a game, the intricacies of all aspects of the game, you can understand all of that, then you can find appreciation in a draw or something that's so close to a draw because you see all the finer details of what's going on. The pitches, the strategy, the coaching strategy, the defense, the offense, right? For baseball, there's lots of that. For boxing, if I knew it as well, I would say there's probably just as much intricacy and science and strategy and business and showmanship and all that stuff that goes into boxing as it does in any sport, in any business, in any hobby, in any lifestyle, in any relationship, right? So any of that, anything you pick in life that you get passionate about, that somebody else looks at you and go, what the heck are you so excited about? You see the details. You see the importance of the details, whereas you may not see it with boxing, right? So Mayweather I think he's passionate about boxing, but he's passionate about the science of boxing, which doesn't excite a lot of people. And of course, he's a little bit of an a-hole when it comes to the money, right? I don't. Good on him for making $100 and whatever million he made, 9-figure payday, $158,000 a second between the two of them. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I want to make that much money. You want to pay me that much for software development? I'll do whatever I need to do as far as the science of software development or agile or consulting or the military or being a father or losing weight or consulting you on anything. Whatever it is, you want to pay me $158,000 a second? You're going to see some scientific thinking behind these eyes. But that's my analysis of the fight. I thought it was boring. I'm not into boxing as much as I am into other things, so I didn't really get inspired by the science of the fight. But I'm sure there are some out there who are very much into boxing, who thought it was a good fight, who thought that there was a lot of intricacies that they could speak about. And I look forward to you responding to this post, because I want to know what you found passionate and positive about the fight where I might have missed it. Okay? Well, this is my first post in a long time, first video in a long time. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:23, so I'm going to go to bed. I did promise a eBay series. I have not got around to that. About 11 months out from retiring from my first career, so I have gotten a little bit busy. But I will say that our eBay business is still going. It's not going as good as last year. My weight loss is doing well. I will do I think I will do a video on that tomorrow just because I am doing so well with it. I have not gained my weight back. When I stepped on the scales this morning, I was under 200. So I would love to tell you about that. So if you are watching this video tomorrow and you're interested in seeing what it is, then I hope if I don't do a video, put a message on this video and say, hey, what happened to the video about your weight loss? And I'll get back to that. Okay? So have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the fight. If you didn't, I'm with you. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to, and I honestly, as much as I wanted it to happen, did not think that Pacquiao was going to knock out Mayweather. Just not going to happen. You know, those two are not knockout kind of guys, except for one lucky punch over the years. Okay, so have a good night. Maybe I'll do another. I won't be paying for another Mayweather fight. There's plenty of ways to see him for free, but maybe he'll get the 50-0 victory and go off into the sunset, leaving another decade void before excitement comes back to boxing. Okay, have a good night. So long. Don't forget to click it, like, and subscribe.